Hello, hello, and happy Sunday. Welcome to Tanny Talks Live. And on today's episode, we are talking about staying motivated. We all find it really hard sometimes to stay motivated, right? Especially in these unprecedented years that we kind of had, right? So I wanted to know, what do you guys do in order to stay motivated? And look at that, motivate_NYC was the first follower to join, which is very crazy because today we are talking about staying motivated on Tanny Talks. Hi everyone, thank you for joining. So like I said, these are very much unprecedented times where I feel like everyone, as of the last couple years, has kind of lost a little motivation because like you can't even plan things these days, right? Like we never know like what's gonna happen in the future. Like before you could sit there and like plan out your whole year, but I feel like ever since we've been dealing with the pandemic, no one kind of knows what's gonna happen in the future anymore. So I want to know what you guys do to stay motivated, right? I feel like everybody kind of does their own thing to kind of stay motivated. So I want to know, what do you do? So I have a little bit of like suggestions and stuff that I do to kind of stay motivated, which maybe will help you. And then if you guys have any comments or anything you want to post, like what you do to kind of stay motivated, I think it'll be really helpful. So I feel like what usually motivation comes from is from a point of where you've had a moment where you felt stuck, right? So I think one of the most important things about staying motivated is figuring out what it is that got you feeling unmotivated in the very first place. So dig down deep and kind of sit there and ask yourself, all right, like what is it that is making me feel stuck? What is it that's making me feel like I'm in a rut, right? And figure that out. Figure that out first, and then you'll be more able to figure out where you get your motivation from. So some things that I do to gain some motivation when I'm feeling unmotivated is I go out. I go outside. Sometimes you just need to go outside and just deal with like nature and like feel the breeze, get some sun, you know, just to get yourself out of a funk. Because I know like sometimes when you are in a funk, you have a habit of staying in and being in closed doors and just like staying back. So I would highly recommend hi, thanks for joining. I would highly recommend you to get some air. Go outside, take a walk, sit down. Like there was a point where earlier this week I was like super duper stressed out. So I went and bought a sandwich and I sat outside and I just ate the sandwich outside. And I could literally feel like weight lifting off my shoulders for being like almost stress free. And because sometimes when like you're in the house, like you drive yourself kind of crazy. So get out, go outside, take a walk. That would definitely be a suggestion of mine to help get you motivated. Another thing I would say to get you motivated, and I've been doing this a lot like in the last few weeks, is be around good vibe kind of people. You know what I mean? Like find people who are doing the same kind of things that you want to do, right? Like find people that are your tribe, right? And I feel like when you're around people that is pursuing the same kind of things as you, it makes it easier to stay motivated, right? Because when those people are grinding, you want to grind too. You know, stay away from lazy people. Get away from lazy people. If you are trying to stay motivated, those are not the kind of people that you want to be around. You very much want to be around people who are getting up and getting it. Like I always heard like this saying where it was like, if you and your friends are like linking up every day, you guys aren't doing anything or aren't doing enough if you're not working together. Because it's like you shouldn't have that much time in the day to be with someone every day. Like that's kind of crazy. Like go and pursue what you have to do. And I think a lot of it is believing in yourself as well. I would say that's another thing. In order to stay motivated, you have to kind of believe in yourself. Even when you don't believe in yourself, still tell yourself that you believe. Because if you don't believe in yourself, how do you expect other people to believe in you? You know what I mean? And I try every day with these Tanny Talks, and let me tell you, to motivate yourself takes so much freaking guts. Let me tell you, it's so hard. But you have to keep going. You have to tell yourself, like, I believe in myself. I know I'm doing the right thing. And that should help motivate you a little bit. Is tell yourself, like, you know, I have to believe in myself. And the more that you believe in yourself, the more other people will be able to believe in you as well. You know, because nobody wants to help somebody also that doesn't help themselves. I know you guys all heard of that saying, like, nobody wants to help somebody who doesn't help themselves. So you got to help yourself. And you have to stay motivated, and you have to believe in yourself, and you have to keep yourself around people who are like-minded, just like you, in order to get stuff done. Stay away from lazy people. Go outside sometimes. If you're feeling stuck, go out and get some air. You know, that always is really helpful to me. So I would like to see if anyone wants to share their motivated, right? Because everything doesn't work for everyone, right? Just because I do these things doesn't mean it works for you. So I know that we all aspire to be someone and do something. So what do you guys do in order to stay motivated? I would love to know. There is also ways that you could do self-help books. I like to do that a lot too. Like I have this book that's called You Are a Badass, and I love that book by Jen Sincero, I believe her name is. And it's a really good book because it's reminding you that you are a badass, you know? And a lot of the times motivating yourself is really hard. Like I find it sometimes hard just to get on here and like speak to you guys constantly every day, because I feel like also comparison is like the ruiner of joy. Every time you try to compare yourself to like somebody else, you feel like you're not doing enough, right? Let me read off a comment here. It says, journal my goals daily helps a lot. Oh, that is such a good one too. I think that's a really good way to stay motivated. Thank you so much, motivate_NYC. He posted a comment saying that he journals his goals. So he writes it down every day. And I was reading something that said that too, where it was like, if you write it down like on a list, or even if you write it repeatedly over and over and over and over and over and over and over again, like it'll get done, right? So that is so good. I usually do a to-do list, like a long-term goal list and a short-term goal list, and I like try to cross them out every day to kind of go through it. Hi, thanks for joining. So somebody wants to join, so let me put them on. Let's see if it connects here, because they want to talk about how they stay motivated. Hello. Welcome to Tanya Talks Live.
What up?
Video. How you doing?
I'm all right. You, how you been?
I'm doing great. It's so good to have you here. So tell the people, what do you do to stay motivated?
Try to keep a positive mind. Try to let nobody try to convince negativity in their life. And I just stay to myself and just work hard, try to strive. You know, if you want something, try to go for it. Never let nobody despise you of, oh, you can't do it, or you're not worthy. Like, those are people you got to kick out of your life. You try to keep positive people around you, because those are the ones who try to make you do better for yourself.
Yeah, 100%. You can't be around negative Nancy's. Negative Nancy's bring you down. Like, get those people out of here. You know, we only want positivity and joy. Hi, thank you for joining.
That's what I did. I got rid of all the negative people, and right now I'm doing good. You know, I got to work for the city now, so you know that's what you got to do. If you want something real bad in your life, go for it. Don't let nobody discourage you or whatever. You know, that's what you got to do, because or else nobody's gonna do it for you. You know, so you can't depend on
That's a
nobody.
fact. Nobody's gonna do it for you.
When you try to depend on people for help or whatever, they be like, oh, they help you, and then you get your hopes up, and then you stuck in a predicament like, damn, I ain't got no help. So I realized that sometimes you got to do things for yourself to better yourself, because sometimes nobody's going to do it for you.
Yeah, no, that's 100%. And I was saying the same thing too. Like, if you're not trying to help yourself, you know, like, who's gonna want to help you? Nobody's gonna want to help you.
Of course.
Because it's like, yo, you don't even want it. So what I'm gonna do? I'm gonna take you to the water and make you swim too.
It's the same way as like you gotta crawl before you walk.
Yeah, 100%. Have you ever felt like you were in a situation where you felt down? Like,
yeah, multiple times I dealt with a lot of people, like when I was married and stuff. I feel like if I would have stood married, I was always in the bottom, and I feel like we was never gonna exceed together to go on top. So what I did is I took that out, and I had to work for myself, because you can't. It's not gonna work. Like, if you depend on somebody, be like, oh, let's do it together, and one person is giving 100%, the other one just sitting there and not doing anything, that person is gonna hold you back.
right.
So that's what I
Yeah.
do. I try to keep a positive mind or try to read like something that's positive to motivate myself to be better for myself because later on the end of the day, if you got kids
Right.
or whatever, they the future, you know, they're gonna depend on you. So that's how you gotta see it. You gotta be the positive mind and be like, yo, whatever you want, go for it. Don't let nobody discourage you, man. The same way the kids, that's why I try to tell people, kids is our future.
Right.
If you do better and your kids see that, they were like, ah, damn, my dad is good, my mother's doing better. I might as well join them too. Because at the end of the day, they're the ones who's gonna take care of you. Nobody else is gonna do it for you.
Right. That's an absolute, absolute fact. And you're right. Like, I feel like I have a kid, and I feel like since having my kid, it makes me even more motivated because I feel like I have someone. Hi, Chef E. Welcome to the live. All right, so right now we have Chef E, which is my girl on the bottom right here. We have Julio, which is my guy on the left right here. And we're all talking about, staying motivated, right? I was just saying how Julio was saying how kids are the future, right? And I feel like since I'm like a mom and since having a kid, I feel like my kid 100% motivates me. Like there were times where I feel like my daughter even saved me in certain ways because I feel like I wouldn't even be here if I didn't have that little kid like that I had to support and do things for. And I also feel like I've more so tried to pursue my dreams because I have a kid, right? And it's like, oh, if I never do Tanny Talks, then I'm teaching my kid that you should never follow your dreams, So I feel like, I do Tanny Talks, and when I do it, I feel really good. And she watches me sometimes, and she's like, okay, mom is doing what she wants to do, but it's also like, I want her to, how am I going to teach my kid to be a good role model to her, right? And teach her how to be a motivated, independent woman that I'm teaching her how to be if I don't thrive for my goals, right?
Yeah.
So one way to stay motivated is to remember that there's people looking at you. So you got to do it for them, for the future, like Julio was saying. But go ahead.
And then on top of that, you got ones down be like, on a low key, they be like, they're the ones, the people who looking at you. Some people could be the ones that low key are the ones be like, oh, I want you to fail. Inside, deep down, that's how they thinking because they seeing you doing better and they doing terrible. Don't hate on somebody else because they doing good and you can't do it. You, the only one who's holding back is yourself. That's the only way to get yourself out of a slump or struggle or whatever. You have to do it. Nobody's gonna do it. So it's sitting there, instead of hating on somebody, applaud the person. Congratulate that person. They're doing good with their life. Because if you don't give a positive mind, you're always gonna have negativity in your life. You're never gonna succeed.
Right. So what do you say, E?
Yeah, no, I definitely agree. Like when you were saying, thinking about the people who cheering, I think that's what keeps me going. Because like I've been cooking since high school, took it seriously for 5 years now, and I think about like where I started at and where I'm at now, and like why would I just give up? Like just keep going because there's people that's watching your journey, even if they don't tell you. Like I promise you, you don't
watching
out of people watching and hoping you make it, and also just the amount of support you'll get from strangers, like random people just. And those then become your friends or become your family and stuff like that. So yeah, that's what I would say keeps me motivated. And of course, number one, gotta keep a roof over your head. So you gotta keep going. There ain't no slacking. You gotta keep a roof over your head. So
yes, I feel where you're coming from because I've been homeless one time and it got to a point that I was ready to give up. But at the end of the day, I couldn't. The only person who could get out of that situation was myself. I was homeless for almost a whole year because I chose a negative person over my family who was trying to keep positive towards my side. And when you in love or whatever, your mind is so clouded that you don't realize all that negativity is sinking you down. So like I got to a point that I was in my rock bottoms and I was ready to give up. I gave up on God. I gave up on everything. I used to pray every night to the Lord. Like I used to cry every night and be like, yo, God, like, what I do to deserve this? How help me out? How can I give out? And God, like I say this, God don't answer your prayers, but he'll send you a sign. And that sign is giving you a sign saying like when my mother told me to come back home, that was a sign to me like, yo, God, that was a sign from God saying that's your second chance. Take it. If you don't take it, you're going to stay homeless and you're not going to go anywhere. I could end up dead or somewhere in the street and not being here. And when that God showed me that sign and my mother asked me, yo, come back home, If I wasn't for that, I won't be where I'm at, getting my license back, getting a good job, doing everything that I can. If it wasn't for my mother, I won't be here right now, you know?
Right.
So
Nah,
at the
I
end of the
hear you,
day,
bro.
if you have somebody, or like if God is not, if you don't have nobody, talk to God, man. Like, you know, God, he don't answer you, he hears you. But just follow the signs, because the signs are there.
Yo,
If you miss it,
it's literally, I was just saying that to Chef E. I was just telling her, like, God gives you little signs, man. And
mm-hmm.
sometimes you gotta listen to those signs. And right when you feel like you're right at the edge and you feel like you just like you're gonna like fall, you need to jump off that edge, because you are going to fly. You are going to fly if you truly believe in yourself. And I always have like a struggle with that sometimes, where like I feel like, oh, you know, like it's not working out. I feel so many times I've done Tanny Talks where I'm like, oh, I feel stupid, I feel dumb, this is so whack, and like nobody's listening to me, nobody cares. And like then all of a sudden, like I get like a DM from like Angie Martinez telling me to keep going, and that is like my idol, which is like, it gives me like a fire back inside of me and ignites me all over again. Like every time I had somebody tell me, and this is my cousin Danny told me this, and God bless you, his name, Volfa Garcia on IG. He said every time you feel like you're at the end, right, and it gets hard, you have to lean into it even more, because when you lean into it just even more and just get a little bit uncomfortable, is right when you're at like the new stage in your life. So right when you feel like you can't go any further, just keep going a little further, because that's the next chapter in your life.
Yeah, you're absolutely right.
Mm-hmm.
You know, I can agree with that. Where like I think the worst years of my life, like it's so many
Hold on.
that ended. Like the series wrote the notes out, all that. But you know, I got through
I'm
it,
ready.
and now I just look at any obstacle in my life like, okay, I'm gonna get through it. Like it's literally gonna make a way. Like when, like you said, like what your cousin was telling you, once you get past that, just everything is gonna happen. You just gotta keep having faith in yourself, whatever you're dreaming,
Right.
and keep going, and definitely not comparing yourself to nobody. I feel like my big looking at.
So it looks like somebody else actually wants to join. So I'm gonna, Julio, I see you playing your game. Do your thing, bro. Because like I keep getting like
I hit you up
pop-ups.
of anything.
So I'm gonna try to rotate the guests here.
Nah, go ahead. You good, man? You good?
Thanks, Julio.
You're welcome.
All right. So let me get Die_bully on. He had some really cool comments, and let me read one while we wait for him to get on. Right when you want to give up, but God always got your back. He will put you through things that you can't handle as a test of your faith. That is 100% a fact, and I wish I could pin this somehow, because that is such a true statement there. Hello, welcome to Tanny Talks.
Yes. I'm proud to be on here. Listen, everything you're saying is a big factor. You know what I'm saying? Like, I came a long way. I lived in New York all my life. You know, I picked you up doing the driver for Accessorize.
Yeah, I know. I remember.
Yeah, so you know what I'm saying? Like, I came a long way. I just bought a new house in Pennsylvania. Like, I came a long way. I'm blessed. You know, every day is a struggle, but at that same time, you just gotta be strong. You gotta strive. You know, you gotta better yourself for you, nobody else. You know what I'm saying? Like, my kids is back in New York, and every weekend I travel. You know, I do that 2.5-hour drive. You know, just for my kids alone, and you know what I'm saying? Nothing can stop me. It's just what we go through in life in general. You know, nobody. If you're not happy, you can't make nobody happy. At the end of the day,
Yes, self first. Take care of nobody else.
Exactly. You know what I'm saying? So like, God is with you in every way, and you just gotta just continue to be positive. Always be positive.
What kind of things do you do to keep yourself motivated?
Man, I do things that I like to do. You know, me being out here in Pennsylvania, you know, I'm licensed to carry.
That makes you happy. He's like, I'm licensed to carry. Yeah, I'm going outside.
Nah, chill. Every weekend, you know, I'm at the shooting range.
Okay.
I go to the gym.
We love this.
Once again, my kids is my idol, you know, so I'm always with my kids. My kids is my everything. So every time I get to spend time with them, I value them. I'm always with them. I'll take them out to, you know, ride Playland, go-karts, whatever it is, you know what I'm saying? So I'm grateful to have my kids. That's my number one thing. Like, everything else comes.
So you would say that your kids motivate you, right?
Oh, of course. Of course, my kids is the one who keeps me going, keeps me pushing. You know what I'm saying? Like, I speak to my kids. Oh my God, like every other like 2 hours is like it's just nonstop. But that's the father that I am. That's the energy that I give, and I get that in return from my kids. You
Right.
know, I have 3 kids. You know, from the same woman, and my kids. You know, they of age. You know, my youngest is 5. I have my 9-year-old, and then my daughter. She's the oldest. She's just turned 13. You know, so it's like it's
That's what's up.
it's just everything.
So I wanted to ask Chef E, actually, you know, you don't have any kids, right? So what do you do to stay motivated?
Myself. I think about my
Myself.
future when I.
Hey, hey, girl.
No, but for real, now that I'm getting older, I think about my future, and I think about when I do have kids and how I want them set up, and how I will want my life to be different, want their life to be different from how it was when I was growing up. So that is starting to become some of my motivation. But before that, my motivation is just me, just trying to be better than yesterday,
Right.
and and I also want to.
Amen. God is good.
Yeah, I want to piggyback on what he was saying about he does things that makes him happy, and I think that's really important because people don't know how important that is, especially when you are in those dark days. You gotta remember like what makes you happy. Like I know for me, whenever I know I'm really down or like I know okay, I need to recharge. My recharge is either hitting up some friends, let's go out, let's do this. Like time I did the Valentine's Day thing, I know y'all always like, oh my God, relax, you want to sit, chill with us. But
Yeah,
y'all don't
you were running around like a chicken with no head trying to please us all.
that's with me though. That's what I need to like. I like to see all my friends.
No, but listen, at the end of the day, not to go off, at the end of the day,
Yeah.
I think, and this goes for guys too, every guy and every female deserve their downtime. You know, if you hard working,
Yes.
kids, whatever, you deserve your quality time. Whether you want to go out with a couple of friends, girlfriends for a couple of drinks, listen, you deserve that.
Right.
You deserve that so much. And a lot of guys don't value that. Like, whether you're dating or whatever the case may be, like, listen, have fun, enjoy yourself. As long as I know that my significant other is safe and she's enjoying herself, you deserve that. You earn that. You're the queen. Enjoy yourself. Have fun.
I mean, I agree. I would say that another way that you could kind of like find ways to like motivate yourself is give yourself a day. To do nothing. Like to do nothing, to cry, to like be completely unmotivated. Like I know that must sound crazy, but sometimes people we're like on a go, like I gotta do this every day and every time. No, like take an entire day to do shit. To do nothing. Like nothing at all. Like sit home and you heard that song by Bruno Mars like today I don't feel like doing anything. Like and it's a vibe. I just wanna lay in my bed. If that's what you wanna do, then do it for a day, but do it for a day. Don't get lazy now. Now that's the hard part. It's like, take a moment to yourself, but don't get lazy. Give yourself one day. Like even when I'm having a bad day, I say, you know what? I'm gonna take an L for this day. Today is gonna be the day I take this L. Today's gonna be that shitty day. But tomorrow, is
get back into
it. Day.
That's it.
We live,
live in today's price.
We live in
not tomorrow's price.
Everything,
you know.
I was saying we live in this world that everything is so fast paced, like especially in New York, but in America in general, it's like we have. I've seen people online that is mad young. I'm like, what the hell happened to me when I was 23 years old, like with cars, house, all this shit. I'm like, at 23, I was in school. I was trying to figure stuff out. Like, I don't know, but I just feel like we live, especially with social media, we live in this world that like.
If it doesn't it's like if it doesn't happen overnight, it didn't happen. Exactly. If you didn't take a picture of it didn't happen. And it's like no one becomes freaking famous overnight. Like this, you know what I mean? Like no one wakes up one day and it's like, hey, I got it, even though it looks like that on social media. People really be putting the work in to get what they get out. And I know it's hard, and it's like you be like, oh no, but this person got, they put in the work for it. There's a lot of things you don't see.
Yeah, they earned it. They put that dedication in, you know what I'm saying? And I want to touch the topic as she was talking about, like, this generation now is out of control. Out of control. You have these young, teenagers just doing crazy things, and it's just, it's just crazy. So, you know, at the end of the day, you just got to stay focused, stay positive, do whatever makes you happy. If you got kids, be there for your kids and just be positive. Stay to yourself, you know?
Right.
Just life is too short. We not promised tomorrow.
Mm-mm.
At the end of the day, you know what I'm saying? So every day you wake up is it's a blessing, you know? Just attack the day, just go for it. Do whatever makes you happy.
Yeah.
And just
Like I feel like
fight for what you want.
every day is a new day to do something, right? And I would say another way to kind of stay motivated is don't pressure yourself to get everything done like in one day.
Right,
you
right.
know, pace yourself. You know, I feel like if you do a little bit, to like remember how Motivate NYC was saying how he does his list, right? Make a list. Probably do one thing off that list if you can every day.
Right, it's like a bucket
I mean?
list.
Like
you check shit
you
off.
just, you know, check it off and, you know, like take your time, you know, everybody's time is different. Everybody goes at a different pace, you know, and just because like someone else is doing something doesn't mean your time isn't coming.
Right.
You know what I mean? And just like if somebody else is bright and you keep going hard, you'll be next. You know, like everybody has to understand that their time is at whatever their time, you know, kind of is. Read off some of the comments here. The thing is, a lot of people don't know who they are.
Right.
I mean, I hope you guys figure it out. You know, and I hope that you have people around you that help motivate you, and people who know who you are. Sometimes you don't know who you are, but the people that are around you do, and they're like, "Hey, this is not who you are."
Right.
You know, be who you're supposed to be because you're not acting yourself lately. You know.
Yeah, you just at the end of the day, you just have to be you. You know, you once again, you're you. You know, you can control your emotions, your actions, your thoughts. You know,
Right.
just just be you. Once again, like I said, you can't make somebody else happy if you're not happy in general. That's just period.
Right.
That's what it is.
All right. That sounds great. Have you ever been in a predicament where you felt, particularly you, sir, where you felt like you was unmotivated?
Oh man, I had plenty of the moments, you know. Once again, I have those struggles, I have a new house, I work in the hospital, I'm a nurse, and every week I have my struggles, and then, the bills piles up, and it's like, oh man, how I'm going to get through this, how I'm going to get this paid off, and you know what I'm saying? So, but it's a new journey, and it's something that you just got to be strong, and you just got to attack it. You take it by day. You got to be positive, Us as human, we may be affected. We may think that we can't get through it, or we be in our thoughts and we're just closing, but we got God on our side, and you just got to be focused. You got to be positive, so
yeah.
Once again, for instance, this morning, I got dressed, I put my suit on, I went to church, and that's because of me, just me personally. Like, I was feeling down, I was going through things, and I was like, you know what, I need to hear the Lord, my everything. So, I went to church, and instantly, like, I felt brand new. They said a prayer for me, I shed some tears, and it was a blessing. It felt like I was born again.
Nice.
Sometimes you need that.
Feeling church,
right, exactly, and it's just amazing. It's just amazing.
Mm-hmm.
Someone also said earlier in the comments that that it's a test of faith, right? And the reason why it is a test of faith is because I always feel like sometimes God tests you, right? He's always like trying to play around with you to see if you really want it. So he's gonna throw a little obstacle in front of you. Like, see, if you can get over this, and this is what you really want.
Mm-hmm.
If you can't get past it, you ain't really want this. You don't really want this. So he puts these things that kind of finish you to make you feel discouraged and kind of bring you down. It's like, oh, if you give up, the same for you. To kind of test you. So if you keep going for it, and you keep pushing past that limit, that little barrier where you feel like you got to give up, and you go past it, that's literally a test of your faith. And I feel like having faith in something, no matter what it is, is a good way to stay motivated.
Yeah.
But
you know what? We're gonna touch that topic like you were just saying. Just have faith. Once again, I work in a hospital. I'm a nurse, and I've been doing this for I'm fairly new. I've been doing it for 5 months now.
Mm-hmm.
And, I work in the ER. So, I'm in I work in between trauma. You know, I'm taking people's vitals and taking out blood samples and stuff like that. So, prime example, I work overnights. So last night we had a trauma case where a mother left gasoline out, and she have a 10-month-old baby boy, and he drank some of the gasoline, and you know they was calling all the nurses, and they called me, and his stomach inflated right to the point where they had to pump out
Yeah.
the put infusion inside, but it was one of those hit or miss, because once again he's 10 months. He's not full developed as all three. You know what I'm saying?
That's heavy.
So at the end of the night, they had to fly him out to another hospital. But that is just crazy to me. Once again, life is too short, and if you have kids, you gotta value your kids. You have to pay attention. You have to be aware of your surroundings, what you have around. And I looked into this little boy, and he was so adorable, so handsome. He had short curly hair.
Aww.
And it just took me into my tracks, because once again, my youngest is 5 years old. And it's like, wow, life is short. Once again, life is short.
Yeah, it
Anything
totally
is possible. Anything is possible. So I seen crazy things in the ER in my department. And it's just,
I mean, I appreciate, you telling us that like really good story, and you telling us, the both of you guys telling us, ways that we could kind of stay motivated. And I want to thank you guys so much for kind of getting on here with me. We go live every Sunday, so I hope to see you guys soon. You guys want to say any like closing comments, Chef E?
Yeah, just stay positive. When you are down, listen to some music that keeps you up. And yeah, if someone tries to rain on your parade, just
get rid of them. All right, well, thank you so much for joining. I wanted to read off some other comments that I had here, and I think they were really good. It says, what do you say to one has potential to do better, but is very complacent in their present state, which is the without pressing so hard, being you always telling them? Like at this point, you're more annoyed. So I would say for Kojo Storm on IG, you left a really good comment here. Like, what do you tell to someone who has the potential to do better in their present state? And I'm really hard on people like that. Like, I'm constantly up people, everyone that I know, like, oh, you can do better, do this, let's do that. You know what? You have to fall back sometimes. And that's the only way that some people are going to get it. Because you have to understand everybody has their own time. Just because you want them to live a better life, if they're happy with the way they are, then let them be happy. Like I'm constantly telling people, hey, you should go this, you should do this, you should do this. But it's like they live in their own existence of what their happiness is, So the only thing you can do is like try to tell them, hey, this is what's outside that box. There's so much more that you could be doing. But if they're happy in whatever they're doing, let them do it. It is not your business to decide someone else's to press someone else to be motivated. You could just believe in them, and whenever they do decide they want to do something, you support them. But you can't always be on top of people, and you have to love them for who they are. You know what I'm saying? Because those are your people. You love them, right? So if they're complacent, then be happy that they're happy. There's nothing more that you can really do to kind of get someone that has a potential. Of course, you think they have potential. You love those person. You like them. You think they're really cool. You think they have potential. Obviously, you see something good in it. Just remind them that that and the potential to do whatever it is that they want to do. If they want to sit back and live a complacent life, then be supportive of them of it. You can't force everyone to do anything, and I had to learn that the hard way, where it's just like, what, I'm gonna live a stressful life if I'm constantly trying to tell everyone like what they should or shouldn't be doing. I'm not really shouldn't be doing, but just like constantly trying to motivate them. Just be supportive in whatever it is and whatever lifestyle that they kind of want to live. So today on Tiny Steps, we learned a few things of how to stay motivated, right? Make a to-do list. That is such a good thing. Make a list of goals and things that you want to do and check each one off every day. Take your time, right? Another one is to take a day for yourself, right? If you feel like, you're having a rough one and you need to take a moment, take a day to not do anything. Take a break. Another thing you could do is go outside, take a walk, right? One of the people that were on the show earlier was saying how he got dressed and went to church today. He ended up feeling like so great. Go outside, go do something, find your people. Also, get rid of the people that make you feel crappy, because those are not the kind of people that you're gonna want to have like around you. Let me read off a comment. Love them from afar, like don't let them bring you down or stop you from growing. Yeah, like, you know, you can love those people, but don't let them stop you from growing. And also always believe in yourself, because as I said, you have to believe in yourself, unless nobody else is going to want to do it, you know, going to believe in you. Like, and you have to do it for yourself. You have to do it for you. And also keep in mind, there are people that are looking at you, like children or people that you think aren't watching, people that you think aren't listening. There's always somebody there, right? And even though you might not have like super close people supporting you, sometimes you meet strangers and the strangers support you more than the people that kind of have been there for you. So if you guys are ever kind of feeling like you're losing a little motivation, you guys can always contact me. Of course, I will remind you who you are. You know what I mean? And don't think that you're not the only person going through something. Like, everyone has their moments where, you know, they're not doing the best. We're all human. I think every single person on this planet has felt a day where they were not motivated, you know? So, hi, thank you guys for joining. So what do you guys do to stay motivated, right? We had like to-do lists, we had going outside, going to church, speaking to your friends, getting rid of negativity. You know, I want to know like what you guys do. And I hope that watching these Tanny Talks, it helps someone continue to stay motivated. You know, I constantly need constant motivation to continue to do Tanny Talks. But I keep doing them because it's what I like to do, and it brings me good joy, and it gives a platform for everybody to kind of, you know, have a safe space. So I want to thank everyone for joining Tanny Talks Live this Sunday. Stay tuned for poll time during the week, where I'm going to post the next poll for the next Tanny Talks. You guys have a good night. Bye.